We have a search warrant that is going to entitle us to take DNA samples, and we're going to do that. You like needles a lot? Good. You won't do that. All right. We got something, a little swab that we're going to run into your cheek on your side. And then when that happens, we're going to have some fingerprints. You don't have that. So we don't have any fingerprints. Okay. And we're going to do that, and we're going to ask you to submit to a very slight physical examination. It's not going to involve any sort of, we have the authorization to take a look at your body to see if you're injured anywhere. Are you injured? I don't want to know that. I don't want to know that. But that's what we're going to do. And after that, or maybe before that, depending on how things are going, I'm going to ask you some. I got some questions to follow up on that I didn't really cover that thoroughly. But before we do that, okay, I'm gonna, because you're not under arrest. You understand that. This isn't an arrest. But what this is a custody, because we need to hold on to you until we get our blood, our swabs, and our prints and such. Okay. Because of that, I'm going to have to Mirandize you, because you're technically not free to leave. You can't walk away this time like you could before when I talked with you. Remember when I talked with you last time? Okay.
Obviously, I understand. It's because of the court order.
Yeah.
It's compelling you to give forth this type of evidence. You really
I don't have a problem with it.
No, I understand, but that's why we have to read this to you.
Okay. Bobby, what I'm going to do first is I'm going to provide you with a copy of our search warrant. Okay. Now, you can read this over as much as you want to read over, but I'll read it to you first. It says, whereas Investigator Mark Weeder of the Calumet Sheriff's Department has this day completed a complaint to the said court in writing that on the 7th day of November 2005, in said county upon certain premises, a certain person, namely Bobby A. Dassey, Township of Gibson, County of Manitowoc, State of Wisconsin, more particularly described as a white male, date of birth, years range, weighing 180 pounds, 5 feet 10 inches tall, blue eyes, brown hair. DNA may constitute evidence of crimes with homicide, sexual assault, kidnapping, mutilating, or hiding a corpse, and false imprisonment, contrary to Wisconsin Statute, Chapter 940. Now, therefore, in the name of the state of Wisconsin, you are commanded forthwith to deliver Bobby Dassey to provide a sample of DNA, including but not limited to a saliva and blood sample, to be obtained by a trained evidence technician and trained medical personnel. Bobby A. Dassey is ordered to provide both finger and palm print to trained evidence technician. The physical person of Bobby A. Dassey shall be searched, photographed, and documented for defense of wounds, including but not limited to scratches, bruises, and bite marks. If said evidence can be collected, you are authorized to conduct necessary tests and to safely keep any evidence so long as necessary for use as evidence at trial or until further ordered by the court. This is signed by Judge Fox, the Circuit County Judge, Manitowoc County, Wisconsin. The endorsement on the bottom indicates received by me, Investigator Mark Weeder, on the 7th day of November 2005. Military time since 1908 is really 7:08 p.m. And in lieu of Investigator Weeder's signature, my partner went bold when it signed the search warrant. Okay? There's your copy. Now then, we're going to Mirandize you here real quickly. What time does it say on my watch, Bob? Miranda warning. You have the right to remain silent. You understand that? Okay. Anything that you say can and will be used against you in a court of law. You understand that? Yes. Okay. And remember, I got a hearing problem, so you got to back up a little bit. You have the right to consult with a lawyer before questioning and to have a lawyer present with you during your questioning. You understand that? Good. If you cannot afford to hire a lawyer, one will be appointed to represent you at public expense before or during any question, if you so wish. Understand that? Okay. Now, keeping all those in mind, Bobby, you understand each of these rights. Realizing that you have these rights, are you now willing to talk to me? And what I'd like you to do is I wrote in yes on each of the last two. I'd like you to initial those and then sign it where I just marked the yes on the paper. Thanks, man.
Okay, I want to turn it down a little bit.
Yeah, man, I'm cooking it here. I'm telling you.
Turn it all the way down.
Now, Bobby, you may or may not have noticed, but we're recording this. Okay, that's all right with you? You don't have a problem with that? Oh, perfect. Okay. Now, there are a couple of things that I realized that I didn't ask when we talked on Saturday night. Okay. Now, I gotta, there are very few questions, but I want to make sure that I cover them. All right? Cool. Now, I want to know again about when you left that day. Do you remember about what time that was? Around 2 o'clock. All right. And you said, well, tell me again what you said when you left. Did you see anyone? Yes. When you were leaving the driveway.
When I left?
Yeah.
No. Didn't see no one.
Were there any cars in the driveway?
Yeah.
What part of it was that?
Okay. Oh, that's right.
Well, you told me that you were nowhere near that teal colored SUV. Ever. Never there.
Never.
Never touched it. Okay. Do you leave the phone on when you go to sleep? What do you do with your home phone? Oh, the home phone? Yeah. Do you recall hearing it ring at all while you were asleep on Monday?
Okay. Did you answer any calls? No. The phone never woke you up. No.
Before you left, did you check to see if there were any messages on the answer machine? Did Steve come over to talk with you between 11 p.m. and noon on that Monday? That was the 31st. 11 a.m. 11 a.m. How do you know that? Did you hear anybody pounding on the door? Even if somebody would have been at the door, you wouldn't know. Well, did you go anywhere that night after you got home from your hunt? You stayed home. What time did you go to work? And where are you working at? Where's that at?
So did you have to, so you left the house at 9:30? Or had to be home to work at 9:30? I leave at 9:30. I have to be working. What is that? Oh, right up here. Yeah.
So what did you do when you were at home? From when to when? Okay, good. Who do you know has keys to the girl's dog? Why did you trust your sister? Who has keys to your house? My mom, my brother. Does your mom entrust anyone else with keys? You know, like grandma or anybody? No. True.
There's like kind of family dinner. Oh. Sure of that? Yeah. What makes you sure? Because it sounds like you came from hunting and then went. I came right home after that. Okay. And you took a nap. But there was a family dinner. Would you have known about it? No. I didn't know anything about it. I came home, watching.
You remember is it your bedroom that looks out towards Steve's house? Whose is it? Okay. But you can see kind of Steve's house from one of the, what is it, your kitchen or your living room? Do you remember seeing a gray Isuzu parked alongside the garage over by the little Samurai?
Yeah.
Or, you do. Yeah. You know that, bro. Oh, the transmission pipe. You're close. All right.
So, I don't know much about cars. Kind of cars. Transmission and clutch is out. No, you can't move it. Can't move it?
You have to push it.
Companies could move it. Could push it?
Yeah, push it.
It's still outside?
I don't know. I expect it's Suzuki or it's the Suzuki. It's my fault.
Yeah. Was it outside when you were there? Friday?
Yeah.
Saturday?
Yes, sir. Was it ever in the garage that you know of?
A week before, yeah. He's gonna work on it.
Really?
Yeah.
Like the week of that girl went?
No. The week, like maybe a week before that. Steve was gonna work on it? Yeah.
Yeah. It was kind of normal for him to do, right? Work on cars. How long did you been in your garage?
Friday night.
Friday night would have been the day before we came through the warrant. Look at that. Oh,
Let's say right up the
okay, again. Who claimed the beer? I haven't seen the beer. Just gutted or it's in there.
I just want to clean it up that better.
What did you do with the skin?
Okay.
Shows how much I've been in your garage, doesn't it?
Yeah. Everything's laying right there. We'll take a look unless someone touched it.
So what would you, it sounds to me like you skinned, butchered your own deer before.
Yeah.
What do you normally do with the hides?
We take a minute, so. Oh, okay. People that make the check.
Did they accept the heads with the deer? You got to do something else with them. Where? In the burning barrel? Huh? Does Steve do that too?
The only, yeah.
Okay, does he go get parked those and stuff? No. Right.
But is the head of this deer still there?
Yeah, that's right. That's right.
It's still in the garage. Well, how many deer have been butchered so far this year?
The only one by our house. There was one that we took into the butcher. That was a whole deer.
From head to tip.
Yeah.
So, which burn barrel do you guys normally burn the heads of?
Ours. This is the first one that we actually got our family. But then the other one we took into the butcher.
Okay. Good. Tell me a little bit. How many years have you been bow hunting?
Bow hunting? Yeah. This is like my actual first year.
Okay.
Got one.
Really? Have you seen anything to shoot at? Okay. Describe to me again, Bob, where you hunt. How far is that from your house? Okay. About 2.5 miles. Okay. And whose property? You were a little confused, and so was I, about who owns the property.
I don't know.
But you know that, what's his name? Yeah, and it's, what is it? Oh, and we thought his name was spelled how? And you hunt with him?
Oh, that's the first day I actually went.
Yeah. Okay. I was a little confused about that because I couldn't. It sounded to me initially like you hunt with him, but is that the guy you saw on your way?
So it was the first day you hunted with him or at that land?
No, that land.
Oh, okay.
Well, how did you get permission from this guy that you're hunting with?
My mom. She might know her.
Okay. Now, I got to tell you that Steve seems to think that he wasn't the last person that I know. He says that you were the last person, that you followed her out of the driveway. Is that absolute true? Absolutely. Why? You know, we talked about this too. I remember that we talked about why Steve would try to jam you up like that. Why? You got to be a little. I can't hear you real good. I said that's the kind of person he is. Why you try to do that? How does that sit with you? Makes me angry. I can believe that. It would make me angry. Now, if somebody is going to try to do that to me, if somebody's going to try to put me in the kind of jam that this is going to all end up being in, I'd be upset. And I would want nothing more than to tell the guy who asked me the questions about this everything I know about it and not hold anything back. Because I'm telling you what, we're coming to the end now. We're getting to the point where we're going to know everything. Okay? You understand that? That we are going to know everything very shortly. Now, my concern is this, Bob, that if you haven't been 100% honest and truthful with me to this point, it's because of two reasons. One, is that you're afraid something bad is going to happen to you or your family if you cooperate with the cops. And then I've got another way to look at that. If you're not telling me the truth, what do you think the other way is? What would be the other reason for you not telling me the truth? I'll tell you, it would be because maybe you had some involvement. And like I said, shaking your head, no. Okay, I'm telling you that. There is not another blessed detail that you left out of here. Has anybody told you how to answer these questions if they come up? Nobody. Your mom hasn't had any contact with you about this? You haven't sat down and had a family discussion about how all this should play out when that bald-headed old buggazard starts hanging around and asking questions? Nope. Nothing. Okay.
You say this, Bobby, that when you spoke with John last week, you did tell him something that was maybe inaccurate, regardless of what the reason was. Now is the opportunity to straighten out. We will take that as water under the bridge.
That's right.
Because it doesn't, if you realize that you did tell him something that was not completely accurate or honest, we understand that people make bad decisions about things they say. And we're giving it to that. Okay, now is the time.
Okay, right. What am I doing here? Tell me what I just did. Do a line. Okay. If any of the stuff on top of this line is not 100% right, dead, bang on, like you're telling me it is, if there's anything up there that we need to change, we can change anything by putting the good stuff underneath this line. It's like turning over a new sheet of paper, you know? If there's anything that you can think of, man, that isn't 100% dead bang on, because you know what it looks like to me? It looks like to me is that somebody might be trying to put you in a bind with this. And I want to make 100% sure that you're straight up, honest, factual. And I'm you know what? I'm kind of buying into the fact, and like I told you when I talked with you on Saturday, did I tell you that I thought I pretty much believed you then? I'm still thinking I pretty much do. Okay? That's good. Why do you think Steve would want to put you in a box? Why would he want to jam you up? Go back for what?
I don't know. Well, why would you try to put me in?
I think maybe you just said something that you might be on to. You know, maybe you think maybe he did this and doesn't want to go back.
Yeah.
I know
as much as you guys.
Okay.
You know more than I do.
That was the next question I was going to ask.
You guys know a lot more than I do.
Yeah, but you know what you have that we don't have? You got family intuition, man. So what's your gut telling?
Right? He was blaming me, I guess. That's what.
So how do you resolve it?
What he's asking is, who do you think did it?
No.
You don't know.
What I told you guys is all I know about it.
So, if you were a bet, I'd bet that you didn't do it. Would you bet like that? So if you had to put your money on somebody who might have done this, and I'm not writing this down. I'm not holding you anything. I just want to find out if you think there's somebody, and you know that family a lot better than I do, man, because I'm a stranger here. Okay. If there's somebody that you think might be capable of making this world disappear from that family. Well, I don't want you to lie to me. You know, that's the last thing
I'm not going to say anything because then I'll be lying because I don't know.
Okay, you know, great. That's fine. That's what I want to know. If I don't want you to lie, okay? Because when people start lying, it makes them look like maybe there's something for me to look at a little more closely. I don't want you to lie to me, Bob. I want you to be honest and truthful, like you're telling me you have that. All right? I don't have a problem with anybody. I'm looking at my watch because it's run out of tape. Okay, and I don't want to have that. This is something that might be important. Okay, that's why I'm kind of fixated on my wrist.
I'm wondering if maybe if we come to the end of this side of the tape, maybe we just pull over the ambulance for that.
Yeah,
because I don't see any other cars here. I think we might be.
Okay, well, we're going to go over to the ambulance garage. We've made some arrangements to just kind of scoot right up there and get in and get what we have to get done. Okay? I asked you this before. You know, anytime, I've asked you before if there's anything else you know, and I'm not quite ready to get to that. But if there, at any time, there's something you want to tell me, you know, just say, look, John, I'd really love to tell you. Okay? Don't wait for me to ask if you think you got something important to tell me, all right?
And the tape at 3:08 p.m. One second. It's now 3:09. I just turned the tape back on, flipping sides. Go ahead.
Bobby, tell me what's happened from the time we stopped the tape about 30 seconds ago till the time we started the tape again. Okay, what questions did I ask? Okay, between the time we stopped the tape and the time we started the tape, did I ask you anything?
No.
Did you tell me anything?
No.
So there was basically no conversation that went on?
No.
Perfect. You're a smart guy. I like that. On my watch, it's 14 hours or 3:14 p.m. We stopped the interview a little bit, didn't we, Bobby? Yep. We got out of the truck and we thought maybe it'd be time to roll prints and do all that other stuff.
Yep.
What were we told?
Yeah.
Okay, and it's going to be about how long? About half an hour. That's what I heard too. Tell me what went on besides that during the time the tape was off. Did I ask you any questions?
No.
Did Kevin ask you any questions? Did you say anything did you say anything at all during the time the tape was on? No. Okay. But I wanted to make sure that was clear. Like we were talking before, somebody wants somebody in a jam over this, okay? And the somebody isn't the police. What do you think? Do you think that the cops are up putting somebody in a bad light over there? Truthfully,
Yeah.
you do. Who do you think? Why do you think that would be?
See, what I figure is it's cheaper for them to do it now, what they're doing now, than what Steve's boss is going to be.
Who do you think is responsible for something like that?
I don't know. Anybody.
Calumet? Do you trust me? Manitowoc. Do you trust me?
Yeah, I trust you.
I'm glad because, you know, I don't have any play in this. I don't know the Avery family. I don't know the Dassey family. I don't know the Hallbach family. I got no axe to grind with anybody. You know? If my job is to find out what happened. Okay? And if I can find out that, pick a name out of the air. Joe Smith was responsible for everything that happened to this girl, and that nobody in your family had anything to do with any of that. Have I done my job?
Yeah.
If it turns out that evidence shows that somebody in your family was responsible for doing this, have I done my job?
Yeah.
Either way, right? So I got no beef with anybody. I'm just out here doing what? I'm doing my job, you know? I'm going to tell you a couple of things, Bobby. One of the things I'm going to tell you is that we've got some pretty good evidence on somebody. Okay? We've got pretty good evidence on somebody. I'm going to tell you another thing. And trust me on this, because I haven't lied to you, have I? Not that you're aware of. Okay? Well, I am. And I'm aware that I haven't fed you one lie. And I don't intend to. My word is pretty good. If I don't like to lie to people. Some guys can string lies together and, you know, get people to do it, you know, give up the truth that way. I'm no good at that because I can't remember what I said, you know. I'm not that good with that. The best way, what works for me, and I've been in law enforcement almost 30 years, and I've done an interview or two. Okay, I know what works for me, and what works for me is I just started my watch again. Is that I be honest, and then I find that usually people are honest with me in return. Okay. Now I'm going to tell you a couple. Like one of the things I'm going to tell you is I'm getting hot in the truck. All right. But no fan noise is happening. So we're going to do that. Okay. I can tell you that nobody from any sheriff's department planted any evidence anywhere from the time that that vehicle was found, because we thought this through and we figured that something like this could happen. You know, the family might say, you know, they're after Steve or somebody again, you know. So we made sure that no Manitowoc city or county cop was on that property without another agency right alongside them, so that anything that might be found could be found honestly and without any worry for our department, because we ended up having to work this case, Calumet Sheriff's Department. We've got a lot of assistance from other agencies. But we wanted to make sure that if there was something bad somewhere, that we were going to make sure it didn't happen here. Because that's my job too. It's not to convict or to charge or to find somebody who did something, right? It's to find somebody who did something. I know you did. I'm pretty confident that you have no play in this. Am I right about that? Great.
Okay. Go ahead, man, Bobby. Just some more food for thought to help convince you that this whole conspiracy theory is not going to hold water. When Steve was released, there was a police agency that was asked to review the original investigation.
Okay. Do you know what police agency was asked to do that? To take a look at the old investigation that put him in the... No. It was the Wisconsin Department of Justice, Division of Criminal Investigation. I'm sorry?
I wasn't even born yet.
Okay, but this was after Steve was released from prison.
Oh, released from prison.
When he was released, there was a police agency that was asked to go back and take a look at the old investigation and review it.
Okay, I thought you found one first.
Oh, okay. So, it was the Department of Justice, Division of Criminal Investigation. There was a couple of special agents that worked for that agency that took a look at the entire investigation, start through the investigation through the court process. Okay. Do you know what other police agency is involved in this investigation? Manitowoc County.
There was sister.
Right. They're there a little bit, but it's these guys. Okay. Plus a lot of peripheral, state troopers and so forth. It was that same agency that reviewed his first case, the Department of Justice, DCI. That's who I work for. So we are here, and we are in the middle of this. The same agency that was asked to review that first case and found problems with the prosecution. Yes. Okay. Those same cops, me and the guys I work with, the guys and gals, are here involved in this one. Okay. One other thing that I want you to chew on that I've told people before. People have suggested that maybe me, or the people I'm working with, or any other cop might make some stuff up, twist stuff around there. You suggest that we climb up it. I'll tell you something. I've got a family that relies on me to keep a roof over their head. I've got 2 kids that rely on me to come home every day, put food on their table. Okay? When police officers lie and get caught lying, doing things that police officers shouldn't do, they lose their job. You know what? Ain't no case more important to me than my family. And I'm not going to jeopardize my family and my livelihood for anybody in any investigation. Okay?
That's where I'm at
And
as well.
I would echo that. Every other cop on this case is in the same boat. Now, who is going to put their career? Because, you know, you can be an insurance salesman and do a rotten job at it and get fired. You can go get another job as an insurance salesman somewhere else. But you know, when a cop gets busted for lying or doing something illegal, and they lose their job, they don't get another job. They don't get another cop job. Okay? Because if we're not credible, we can't go into court and testify. We can't be a cop if we're not believable.
Yeah, I mean, you know, basically, a cop whose word isn't worth anything as a cop. You know, because when I go up on the stand, I swear to tell the truth. And I do. For the same reasons that Kevin just enumerated. I've got a family. I love my family. I need to provide for my family. I need to have a few things for myself. I'm not going to have those. If I get in a jam trying to do something I shouldn't do, it's ridiculous for me to think that it would be ridiculous for me to think of something like that. Because there isn't any conviction, there isn't any case, there isn't anything. Just like Kevin said, do you put anything in front of your family? I mean, your family is pretty tight for you, right? Would you do anything basically? You wouldn't lie or do anything illegal, but you do, you know, your family comes first, doesn't it? Yeah. Everybody else kind of takes a backseat. You're no different than me. You're no different than Kevin. You're no different than any other cop on this. That's something that we all have in common. We all love our families. We want to do right for our families. We don't want to wrong our families. Things that would, you know,
Bring shame to them.
Shame, humiliation, poverty. We wouldn't want anything like that. I'm not taking a chance. I don't care if I got to pay $36 million out of my own pocket to Steve Avery. I'll pay it on the $1 a month plan. losing my job for that. Come on. You know, I'm 50 some years old. I can't walk out. You're what? How old are you? 19. You can walk down the street, and if there's a job to be had, you're young, you're healthy, you can work your buns off. You know what? I'm starting to be a liability for health insurance reasons. You know, you're getting to the age where stuff starts to wear out. I can't, Bobby. I can't do things wrong because there's too much riding on it for me. You believe that? Okay. So, you know, I can understand. When we got back to family deal, I'm sure that the family would love to believe, and probably does believe, that there's some sort of conspiracy. But I'm here to tell you, son, it just doesn't play. Nobody's going to risk losing everything to jam up somebody. Nobody that I know.
You know what? Imagine how many people it would take, how many police officers it would take to orchestrate a conspiracy of this size. One person could not do it alone, right? You think two people could orchestrate a conspiracy of this size? Okay, now you're talking more than two dirty cops within one police agency to conspire together and pull the wool over all of their supervisors' eyes and everybody else, and pull the wool over neighboring sheriff's departments and state special agents and everybody else, and crime lab personnel. You know, you can't fool forensics. You know, the conspiracy thing just doesn't hold water, and it's not going to. It never will.
And there's an old saying. You know what the motorcycle group, the Hells Angels, are? They're pretty bad fight group. They're nationwide. They're some pretty rugged customers. And I read somewhere that they have a saying amongst themselves, and it goes like this: 3 people can keep a secret if 2 of them are dead. Okay? That means if you don't want somebody else to know anything, you can't involve anybody else, because when push comes to shove and times get tight, somebody's going to give something up, and then that guy, that you know, whoever has done the bad things, is going to be in a jam. And that's truly the way things happen most times. You know, you have your personal beliefs, and you can believe what you want with you and your family about the conspiracy aspect of things. I can't tell you what to think. Nobody can tell me what to think. I don't believe I can tell you what to think, okay? But I can tell you that I've given you a lot of stuff, and Kevin's given you a lot of stuff that you want to know. You know, I don't want you to make an uninformed choice and you know, just say, without reservation, you know, somebody is doing Steve wrong, and it's probably a cop. Well, I don't, you know, what do you think about that, given what I told you? And, you know, have you lied to me so far? No. I don't want you to lie to me about your next answer either. What do you think about that now that you've had a little time to listen to what I have to say? I said, well, cool. I'm glad to hear that, you know. No, I mean, your job's important to you, isn't it? Yeah. And, you know, our job's important to us the same way. I can tell you I'd never do anything like that. You know, and I'd have no reason to believe Kevin would. And we're not working 1 and 2 guys at a time. Out there. You know, we've had a lot of people out there. And every cop has been with at least 100 cops. Most instances, 200 cops. You just can't do shit. You can't do sneaky stuff if you got that. Okay? And that was, like I said, one of the reasons that we decided to do it that way. And I think that altogether it's a pretty good decision.
What did the attendant say when she came up?
She said that there's going to be an ambulance going in about 5 minutes now.
Okay.
And she said that they can offload outside the enclosed parking garage that we're in, or I can step out, open the door, and they can drive right in. And I think probably that's what we do.
I think we should do it, and I think we should stop the paper.
Sure. I think
We can bring it back on when.
yeah, we'll do that. And it's, on my watch is just turned to 15:30 or 3:30 p.m. Okay, Bobby, it's, now 15:32 or 3:32 p.m. on my watch. We stopped the tape. Did we discuss anything of any real importance? Did we discuss where you parked your truck? Yeah, okay. Anything else? Did we ask you any other questions during that time? Okay, good. Just wanted to be sure we were all on the same page, okay? So getting back to all of this, okay? I don't understand why Steve would tell me something or tell somebody something like he wasn't the last one to see her. You were. You know, I don't understand that. What do you think about that? Okay. Do you get along with Steve pretty good? Sometimes. What about when you're getting along with him good? What goes on? Well, it comes over and talks. Like, we're getting along with him. So you got your kind of ups and downs with that. Sometimes you get along with them, and sometimes you don't. What was the last thing that caused you guys to not get along with him? How long ago was that? Okay. And there was something that happened between you and Steve, or you and your brothers, or family? The whole family. Okay. You don't know what that was about. Just one of these big families sit down and everybody gets mad at one another. So maybe. I don't know. I've never heard. Okay. Did you date anybody, man? You see anybody? No, I don't. Okay. Well, had you been? No? Alright. I know. You're going to break a lot of young ladies' hearts if you don't start getting out and circulating. You know, you'll probably die a rich man if you have that attitude, okay? So, you can't remember what it was. Are you being 100% with me there? Okay. Well, tell me, was Steve mad at you guys, or you mad at Steve, or what? Okay, but you don't know really for a while. Was there something between him and your mom? Yeah. Okay. And do you know how that fixed itself? Oh, when did that fix itself? When did your mom and Steve start being mad? Or Steve being mad at your mom? Like a week ago today? Today is Wednesday. Okay. So it was first. The first or the second? Last one. Okay. And you don't know what that was about. How often does this go on between Steve and your mom, or Steve and the other? Let's discuss your mom first. How often does that go on with Steve and your mom, or they get mad one with the other? Okay. How long does that normally last? Okay. Who usually gets mad at who? Really? What, doesn't he get along with some of the ideas? What makes him upset? Okay. That's fine. How does Steve get along with the other guys? You get along with Chuck? You don't talk to Chuck. How about Earl? You don't talk to Earl either? Why is that? What about your cousin Chris? imagine what I'd be thinking right now if I'd be hearing what you would be. Let's you and I sit in opposite seats here for a minute, okay, in a manner of speaking. Let's say you're the guy with the notebook, and I'm sitting in your seat hearing, somebody's trying to jam me up for something I didn't do, and it might be something pretty serious. I know how I'd be feeling right now, and I'd be racking my brain trying to find out how I might be able to help, in this case, Detective Dassey try to do his job, figure out why somebody might be trying to put my name and attach it to something like this. Are you thinking about that a little bit? So, what do you think? I'm giving you a little bit of a chance to think things over here, sort through and filter through stuff. Did you see if Steve had any big fires on Monday night? Or any night? Oh. What was he burning?
I think it was brush.
Where at? He's got kind of like a pit scooped out there. Is that what you're talking about?
It's right behind. I think it's right behind the garage.
Okay.
What makes you think he was burning brush? Well, the weekend before there was brush in there. So, like I said, I'm usually working. So I do a lot of hunting right now, so I'm never home.
How do you know he was burning it all up?
Burning it all.
How do you know he was
Well,
burning?
I was home that night because I got home because you can only hunt until 5 o'clock. So then I come home. I just stay up for an hour and a half.
So it was either the day after you saw that teal-colored SUV in the driveway, or the day after that.
Yeah.
One of those 2 days.
One of them.
Could you tell what else was burning?
That's all I know.
What other kinds of things does he normally burn in that pit?
There's a couple tires sometimes.
Why's that?
Can you tell the difference between when he's burning tires and when he's burning brush? When you normally know when he's burning tires?
He does it, I think, every day.
Yeah. Prevailing winds are normally out west, like that black rat smoke all night over the house.
Lately we had a lot of fun. So.
How do you know that?
Go on a lot.
Yeah, just go ahead if you want. Okay, great. So lately we've had a lot of north-south winds.
When's the last time you remember him burning tires? Okay. Does he ever burn tires anywhere else? No? Why not? Does he ever burn Do you have a burn barrel? Where is that?
Yeah.
In front of his garage. Okay. Yeah. And the burn pit is behind his garage.
Yeah. His garage.
Yeah.
Trailers here.
Okay.
Burning pit's back here. Burning barrel's right here.
Gotcha. Okay, so the burning barrel is north of the garage, it is south of the garage, and his whole house where it's kind of west of the garage.
So what does he use his burn barrel for? Like household trash?
Okay. Steve wanted to change clothes and wear them out. You know, does he have to go through a lot of clothes, or doesn't he buy clothes? You know what he does when I'm with them when he's finished with them? No idea.
Do you have a burn barrel? It's just a standard 55-gallon steel barrel. Same as he's got, right? Do you do cars much? Work cars much? Do you think a wheel rim with tire on it would fit the barrel?
Maybe
a little one?
Yeah,
Maybe a smaller barrel. Yeah.
Maybe so.
Maybe a smaller tire. 12-inch tire.
Yeah.
Do you think of any reason why there would be a rim which were made with a tire in a burn barrel?
That'd be unusual.
Yeah.
At your house or at Steve's house, that would be unusual.
At our house.
What about
Anywhere.
Steve's house?
I don't know.
Why would you do that? Okay. We're coming up about 3 minutes.
Okay, I think we're done.
Sure.
You have a pretty good recall, knowing that he had a fire in his pit Tuesday or Wednesday, and was that during the evening?
That was when I was there.
Okay.
I usually go to bed. I usually take a nap. 7:30. So I get an hour nap.
So it wouldn't have been after. Would it have been after 9:30? Because you would have been at work, so you wouldn't have.
Yeah, I wasn't sure. The fire was going when I left.
Okay.
So it's either 5
And because you live so close to Steve, that's not something that you overlook. You see that fire going.
How about picture it? I mean, just try and reconstruct it in your mind. You're going to work, fire's burning. You come home the next morning, what, 8 hours later?
Yeah.
When you get home, is it still dark? I don't know what time you get there. It's light. You remember the fire is still burning? Okay.
Smoke?
Okay. Do you recall, get back to where I was going, you got pretty good recall on when that fire was, the pit. Remember the last time you saw him burning in his barrel?
No. You can't tell us because
I don't know.
it's that long ago, or you ever see him?
I don't know.
You ever see him use his barrel?
Not really.
Oh.
I guess I don't understand. I mean, if you got a burn barrel and a big pit, a larger pit out back, why even use the burn barrel to burn your trash?
Well, yeah, wait, don't blow. And you only burn a bag of garbage.
Uh-huh.
It's windy.
Yeah, Steve will be burning your house down.
So let me ask you this: you recall seeing the fire burning out back in the pit? I happen to work in the arson bureau with the state side department. Wouldn't you think that household trash burning in the pit could blow just as easily as they brush and stuff? Here's what I'm getting at. When you left, you remember seeing if he was out there tending the fire at the pit? The night you saw the fire in the pit?
Yeah.
Yeah, what? Oh, he was?
Yeah.
Who was with him?
Our house is so long and I don't sound like I
Okay, I just put in a new tape. John, can you tell me what time it is?
15:47 or 3:47 when we watch PM.
Okay, I don't know if the John's alarm watch alarm was caught on the tape. I'm not sure if this is part of that last conversation, but let me just recap a bit. Bobby, I asked you if regarding the fire in the pit at Steve's house last Tuesday or Wednesday evening, when you left for work, I asked you if you remembered seeing anyone tending the fire, and
What was your result?
Yes.
Who was that? And which little brother is that? Brendan. Brendan. How old is he? Pretty smart guy? No. Not as sharp as you? Would you remember doing something like that if we asked him?
What? Yeah, sure. Knowing that you and Steve and your mom weren't getting along, and just kind of patched things up a few days before that, come out, go to work. See, Brendan's over there with him. You walk over and chat with him before you split? Yeah. Okay.
Sure, that's right.
You don't have time to chit chat.
I don't have time.
John, let's play take it.
Yeah. All right.
My truck.
What's the rest of you? Are ready to move on or not? You're not ready to go, no?
Let me ask you this. When you ever go over and look, you ever throw anything in Steve's burn barrel? I want you to think, just take a minute and think hard. The night of that fire pit, remember seeing any fires in Steve's burn barrel?
You know, what were impressions are, like,
Yeah.
is there any way, any reason you can think of why your footprints might be near the fire pit or was Steve's burn barrel? There's honestly, there's no way that they'd be there.
I have a question. Not by the burn building.
All right, I just want to make sure that if something like that had show up, that was really disappointing. Well,
Something like that would show up that should potentially disappoint Donnie.
Yeah.
Considering the current state of affairs with the way things are looking from Steve's angle, what he's suggesting. You know, what we talked about earlier. Okay. You want to go in?
yeah, I think it's time for us. We've got a room available to get your swab and your fingerprints and all that. So I think it's time to do that now. It's 15:51 or 3:51 p.m. on my watch. Nervous?
That wasn't audible. Yes or no?
No.
No? Turn the tape off. Yeah, we're going to turn the tape off and leave it off throughout the examination, correct?
Yep. 15:52 or 3:52 p.m.